next topic. So our next topic is, just like resistances, we can also group cells. So let's see how cells can be grouped. So that's why grouping of cells. Okay, so in order to grouping of cells, again we have two possibilities, that is series grouping and parallel grouping. So let's move to the series first. So again, simple. So we have this cells and they are connected end to end. We'll say that they are in series. And these cells can be identical cells, or it can even be non-identical cells. That means when the cells will have non-identical means they'll have different EMF, or they can have same EMF. Okay, so suppose these cells are connected like this, and each cell will also have a internal resistance. So let this show its internal resistance. And this combination of cell is giving supply to this external resistance. Let it be E1, E2, E3, and the internal resistances be R1, R2, and R3. Right? So now the current which comes here goes like this through the external resistance R, and the same current comes here. So that means the current, obviously, because it is not getting divided, so it will be same everywhere. It should be same. Okay, so now in this case, the equivalent EMF of the cells will be, see what it does, one cell supports the another. So this pushes the current in this direction. Each cell is actually pushing the current in same direction. So that's why their EMF gets added. So the E equivalent of all these together will be E1 plus E2 plus E3 and so on. Right? And what about these internal resistances? So the R equivalent is also getting added because that is also in series. Right? So I can write an equivalent circuit where EMF, I mean, this, all these can be replaced by only one cell. So it will be like this. So this is having its equivalent EMF and equivalent this, and obviously the current. Now if I have to write equation for this, what will be the current equation? Current will be equals to E equivalent divided by R plus R equivalent. So this is how we are going to solve this. Right? And potential of each cell, say V1 will be equals to E1 minus IR1. V2 will be equals to E2 minus IR2, and V3 will be equals to E3 minus IR3. So basic simple calculations are there. So series is straightforward. Problem in series comes when these cells are connected wrongly. That means they are not in right order like the one which we have seen above, but they may also cancel each other's effect. That means one cell can be connected like this, and another cell, instead of supporting it, it may oppose it like this. So even this is possible, right? So this has E2, R2. Suppose this has E1 and R1, where R1 and R2 are the internal resistances, right? So these are the things, and suppose it is like this. Now, obviously, these are opposing each other. So in which direction the current will flow? So if E1 is greater than E2, that means this EMF has, this cell has higher EMF. So this will overcome this. So current will flow in the direction whose whatever cell has the higher potential, the current direction will be decided by that cell. So now obviously the current will flow in this direction. Suppose there is an external resistance R here. So same thing, if we want whatever we have done for earlier configuration, now if we want to do it here, so now the equivalent equivalent EMF, that is E equivalent, will not be equals to E1 plus E2, but it will be E1 minus E2 because they are opposing each other. The current I will be the R equivalent because it is in series, so that doesn't matter. That will be still R1 plus R2, and the I, the current which flows in the outer circuit, that will be when this is replaced by, say, one cell, then I will be equals to, this is R, this one is small r, so that is equals to E equivalent divided by R plus the total internal resistance. So we have E equivalent here and R equivalent here. You just have to use it. This is how it works in series. It's actually straightforward, right? Now there is one thing here that is about the potential. If we see it in one current, in one cell, this one with the higher potential is actually causing the current to flow. That means obviously its energy will be getting consumed. So we say that this cell is discharging. The other cell, if the other cell, that is E2, if only that was there, if only this was there, then the current would have flown in this direction. But what is happening right now? Current is actually flowing in this direction. So because current is flowing in the opposite direction of the cell, so we say that this cell is actually getting charged. So here E2 is charged and E1 is getting discharged or getting used, right? So obviously the equations which will form along V1 and for V1 and E2 will be different. What will be that? For E1, between E1 and V1. V1, as you know, V will be the potential. That means from here to here, the difference will be called V1. And from here to here, the difference will be called V2. V1 will be less than E1, right? V1 is potential difference across or the terminal of cell E1. and E1 is discharging, so that's why its potential will decrease. So E1 is actually equals to V1 plus IR1, sorry, internal one, IR1, or we can say that V1 is equals to E1 minus IR1. But E2, right, the EMF there, that is equals to V2, the potential which is there, minus IR2. Obviously, because here the potential is, the cell is getting charged, so its potential will keep on increasing. So V2 will be equals to E2 plus IR2. So if this is the case, it will be like this. Same thing can be easily verified by applying Kirchhoff's law as well. So we will see that as well by applying Kirchhoff's law as well later. So for the time being, this whatever we have concluded in the last, that is only when the cells are connected up in opposite direction, right? Okay, now when they are connected here, grouping of cells which we have seen. So here, if they are n identical cells, then what will happen in this case, right? You leave it. N into E divided by R plus NR. That will be the case when obviously the cells are identical in nature. That means they all are same cell having same resistance and same internal resistance and same EMF. Okay, now next is our parallel grouping of cells. Again, what does it mean? It means we have one cell with some internal resistance connected in a parallel combination. That means two ends of the cell are joined together and two ends are joined together, other two ends are joined together, other 2 points. So like this. And let us connect it like this. Okay, so suppose if this cell is having EMF E1 and internal resistance R1, this is E2 and having internal resistance R2, both are connected in same direction, so both will give some current, but because these are two different cells, so let's have I1 and I2 as two different currents. Now obviously when they two come together here, this is our external circuit where there is a external resistance R. Right. So one thing is obvious, that is I is equals to I1 plus I2, because those two currents will be equal. Now the equivalent EMF here is little tricky. It is not the way we have found earlier. We cannot just add them. This thing we have to solve applying Kirchhoff's law in the two different circuits. So the loops. So one equation which we'll obviously get will be this: I1 plus I2 is equals to I. This is the one, right? Okay. Now the I1 and I2 if we have to find, so we'll have to take help of different loops. Suppose this is A. From A, this point is A, and this is B, and suppose this point is C, D, right? And A, B, C, D, A is one loop, and A, B, E, F is another loop. So we have two different loops here. That is the one with the cell E1 and another with the cell E2, right? Okay. Now we'll have two different uh, one equation we have already had. Now two different equations for two different loop, applying the Kirchhoff's loop law. So loop A, B, C, D, A. If I start this loop, then I see that there is minus IR. Why? Because I'm going in the direction of current. Then minus IR1. Now the cell comes, and that will be plus E, and that will be equals to 0, right? But in this, the current is actually I1 R1. Here the current is I1. So we got one relation. And then the second loop, that is loop A, B, E, F, A. Again here, again you will have the same thing, that is IR minus I2R2 plus E2 is equals to 0. Okay, now how are we going to find the equivalent EMF of the two cells? That's what we have to do. When we have resistances, we find the equivalent resistance of the two resistances. Here we have to find equivalent EMF. Equations we have got. Now for that, obviously we will have to draw the equivalent circuit for this. So how does the equivalent circuit will look like? This will have only one cell, which will be equivalent to the cell network which is shown above, and obviously it will have some internal resistance. There will be this external resistance R, and if that external resistance R is connected, the current through this should be equals to I. This is our equivalent. Sorry, this is E equivalent, that is EMF, and the internal resistance will be R equivalent. Now if we apply this basic definition of EMF and current and all, so here we get I is equals to equivalent EMF divided by R plus R equivalent. This is not going to change. That means if I am able to get equation similar to this, that is I's expression from these two expressions, that is equation 1 and equation 2, and if we are able to get it in this form, then whatever is the numerator, that will be the equivalent EMF. So let's try to do that and see if it is possible or not. right? So what is I1 here? From the first equation, can we find I1? I1 will be equals to E1 minus IR, E1 minus IR divided by R1. Same way, from the second equation, I'll get I2, and that will be equals to E2 minus IR divided by R2. So this is what I1 and I1 and I2 are. Now, if these are I1 and I2, then what is I? I is equals to I1 plus I2. So now we have to just add this and say find I. I is equals to E1 minus IR divided by R1 plus E2 minus IR divided by R2. That is I. Now simplify this. So cross multiply E1 into R2 minus I R R2 plus E2 into R1 minus I R R1, this whole divided by R1 R2, that is equals to I. So this is I. Now this is not in that form. This is still not in that form, right? The form which we need. We need in this form. I is equals to E equivalent divided by R plus R equivalent. This one. Then only we will be able. Right. So now what will be I? I will be this E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 R2 into R1 R2 divided by R1 R2 plus R into R1 plus R2. If we see this, then these two will get cancelled and we'll have I is equals to E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R into R1 plus R2 plus R1 R2. Again, this is still not in this form, divided by R plus, right? So if we want it to be in that form, still some transformation has to be done. Let's do that. For that, divide. What is stopping it from being that? This R1 plus R2. So divide numerator and denominator by dividing by R1 plus R2. So that is equals to E1 R2 plus E2 R1. This thing divided by R1 plus R2. This whole thing divided by R plus R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Now if you see this and compare with this, these two are comparable, right? And from this what we can say about equivalent EMF? The numerator is equivalent EMF, that is E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 plus R2. And what is equivalent internal resistance? This is the equivalent internal resistance, that is R1 R2. This is internal resistance, equivalent internal resistance, that is R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Now if you see this, this is same as the internal. When these resistance are in parallel, you will get the same result. So the resistance behave as they are in parallel, so they behave as they should behave, and equivalent EMF is like this. So the formula for equivalent resistance and equivalent EMF is the one which you are seeing right now. This is the formula in case of parallel, in case when the resistances are in parallel. Now, what will happen if the cells are connected with reverse polarity? If the polarities are reversed, right? So not much difference. Again, the cells will now start opposing each other. We can derive this equation again, but I'll just write it for you. The equivalent EMF will be equals to E1 R2 minus E2 R1 if E1 is greater than E2 divided by R1 plus R2, right? And this resistance, right, this will have no change. This is internal resistance because it doesn't matter, the polarity doesn't matter there, so it will be same, right? So this is the equivalent EMF and equivalent resistance, internal resistance of cells when cells are combined in series and parallel. In series also they can be in reverse polarity and same polarity, or in parallel as well. We have seen two configuration, that is one with the same polarity and one with the other polarity. Now there can be mixed grouping of these cells. Mixed grouping means there can be cells in series and different series of cells can be in parallel. That means there can be things like this. This is series combination. And then there is another series and the two series are connected in parallel. So this is also possible, and there can be multiple such series. So no need to worry in such complex circuits. First, solve it for individual series, find equivalent EMFs here, and then you then find the equivalent of those parallelly connected EMFs, right? So that's how we are going to solve such problems having multiple cells grouped in series, parallel, or combination of both.